Chippewa Road here, which is actually a continuance of state road. So I just came in off of a little fella. There you go. I came in off of M119. So we just head down Chippewa here. It turns to the right, and then we take this left. This is called Waterfront. Sorry about the really dirty windshield. A 3-hour ride with a lot of bugs yesterday. And this is the port of Cross Village. There is Lake Michigan. Park. And we're here. There are restrooms at the Port of Cross Village. It's just one, but it is a restroom. And they've got this loop and a nice pavilion. So there is a place to sit down and have a group. There are 2 long picnic tables here, about 8 feet long. Looks like it'd seat about 12. And then there are benches to sit down on, and 3 on the shoreline here so that you can see the water. Nice amenities. And then we're just gonna take the road here that goes to the boat launch, and we'll head down there. But first I'm gonna get my backpack and my picker-upper. Now we're all geared up and we're heading toward the beach. It's probably only about 100 feet to the water line from the closest parking spot. And right away is the boat launch directly behind. And then we basically have all shoreline. So this is the Port of Cross Village, Michigan. And you can see that this is a very big and long beach, and it goes up around that bend for another mile. So there's a whole lot here and great pickings usually. So let's see what we have today. Okay, it looks like that's a little rhyolite. I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but it's rhyolite is common all over this area, and you'll find it at Cross Village a lot. That's a nice greenie, and I believe that is probably slag. Yeah, some of the green rocks are going to be epidote, which is bright green. Sometimes there's green slag, and sometimes there's a epidotic basalt, which is a duller green. Just a lot of epidote in the basalt itself. Okay, here's a fossil. It looks like Cladapora. There's a lot of that as well, so you can expect to find that here too. Now here's a piece of that green slag. Oh, here it is. This old green rock. Let's take a look at this. There. All right. See those bubbles on the top? Some on the bottom. Not many on the bottom, but there's little holes. And that's indicative of slag. It's something that has bubbles in it when it's poured out of the furnaces, and it coats a lot of things that are in the water already, so you'll find it like coating different rocks and coral, fossilized coral. So yeah, all sorts of stuff. You can see the feldspar lines in this rock. Very heavy, very beautiful. All right, we're gonna keep looking. Now, here's a nice piece of porphyry down in the water. It's nothing terribly special, but I just love these veins that run throughout it. It's just black basalt with epidote veins running just all over it, all through it. Very cool. It's not anything terribly special, like I say, but I like it. It looks great out in the garden. Gets your attention. The algae in the water is pretty prevalent. It's July 15th, 2022, so keep in mind in mid-July you might have this kind of algae bloom near the shoreline. And it is pretty thick, so you don't see many of the rocks in the water. I might have to go out about, I don't know, 8 or 10 feet before it's clear enough to do some rock finding. So, yeah, now the rocks are mostly washed up and dry over here. And if you got a good eye, you can kind of find good rocks in the dry. They're just not as easy to spot because the colors aren't jumping out at you. But yeah, there is a lot of rocks on this beach. And there's a whole lot of beach at Cross Village. I think we got a little piece of banded chert here. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot of striations. And it's simple, and a lot of it up here, banded chert. You'll find it all over the place. Just another fun thing to find at Cross Village. It's got a reputation for changing, like you can come here one day and then the next it'll look totally different, especially after a storm, which is nothing new, but this beach will really suck up the rocks and change inventory often. So yeah, you never know what to expect, and today we have an awful lot of that algae in the water, and that's just one of the things that you might encounter when you get up here. And we're not too far from Wilderness State Park. Yeah, I'm gonna go up around that bend and see what's up beyond. So here we go. It looks like we've got a few things in this stream. Now this is just before that bend. So I was gonna head around this bend, and there is a stream coming out of the side of the hill here. And it's real clear water. And in this water I see some Unakite, which is that red and green. I see some green, which is epidote. Big old piece of feldspar. Another piece of feldspar with a lot of veins in it there. So that's a beautiful piece of Unakite and epidote. These are going to come home with me. Okay, I think this is another piece of Unakite down here. It's not real big, but it's got some beautiful color to it. Another piece of epidote right here. And I believe if you look for some brown rocks like these, that's chain coral in there. So these three pieces are going home with me. Heck, this shore is loaded with good stuff. A lot of the red rocks that you're going to find out in the water here are going to be feldspar. This one's got a little quartz in it. A little bit of epidote in there. But this is very typical. A lot of these red rocks are feldspar. You get out here. Let's see, that's feldspar. You're going to find also sandstone. And yeah, just a lot of the pink, in fact, is, am I getting that? They're so slippery out here from that algae, you can hardly get them out of the wawa. So, all right, well, a lot of the red is going to be either rhyolite, sandstone, or feldspar, pretty much. Can't think of many other red stones out here, but oh, of course, jasper. If you find bright red jasper, it's not usually bigger than your thumbnail, but it sure is beautiful, and I always pick it up. You'll have to look at a Mhos scale to figure out if it's actually jasper, if you're that interested. Now here's a very beautiful piece of what looks like Unakite. Oh, come on back. Get on the show. And there it is. That is a very, Very nice stone. Let's see. All right, there we go. The green veins are epidote. The red is feldspar, and the green veins are very prominent in this stone. Very, very nice. So that's what we call Unakite. Great Lakes Unakite. Not like the Unakite found in the Unakite Mountains in North Carolina, Tennessee border. This is different stuff, kind of. All worn down from the waves, and sometimes slightly different ways of coming out of the volcano. So yeah, Great Lakes Unakite. If you ever want to sell it online, make sure that you tell folks what it actually is. I don't sell rocks or anything. We take them and we polish them, we put them in the garden, and when that garden's looking good, I'll make a video of it. All right, I'm gonna keep going down this shoreline. Here's an interesting thing I just noticed. I don't see any of the, or hardly see any of that algae on this side of the bend. So the water here is pretty darn clear. And you can see the bottom very well. So we're not only shopping the shoreline, but we're shopping the water. And there's some beautiful color in here. Always looking for jasper. It's usually bright red. That's not it. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. See that? That is jasper. That is a beautiful piece of jasper. Oh yes. All right, so that is sometimes what you'll find. Now that's a big piece, actually. You don't find jasper that big, but that's a nice bright red chunk. Yay. Looks like we got another very nice piece of banded chert. Let's take that up on the shore and take a look at it. Tip that over. Show you the bands in it. It's really beautiful stuff. It's a halfway decent sized rock too. A lot of people put this out in their garden, and I don't blame them. It's a very interesting rock to have. Kind of has a whole bunch of history in it. Ooh, nice piece of jasper right there. There we go. Yeah. Some black bands in it. That's probably just basalt, but still. This water is loaded today. So far I found 3 pieces of chain coral. Rocks with chain coral in it, I should say. And yeah, the water is just clear as a bell here. This is real nice. So anytime I see green down in the drink, I pull it out and take a look at it. If it's not green enough, it don't go home with me. You gotta be real green to go. Yeah, this is a beautiful shoreline. Here's a nice piece of green. Look at that. Very nice. And this piece of feldspar's got a nice big vein of epidote running through it. So I'm taking it home. Oh, let's see. What else is lurking about besides me? Oh. Here's something that almost looks like Dalmatian stone. Yeah, it kind of is. when you get this speckled, what is it? Speckled just granite, but it's black and white. And it's referred to as Dalmatian stone because it's got a coat of a Dalmatian. This isn't quite it, but very nice anyhow. So it's going home. We pull these things out of the drink. We've got some, well, it's a beautiful piece of fossil soup. This is the same thing, only different fossils, different kind of sand it got, or mud, or clay. There's a piece of jasper, epidote, granite, feldspar, possibly with some, I'm not sure what's in that feldspar. And then some banded dirt, and some more feldspar, which is pinker. Don't want to soak my phone, but it's kind of close. All right, just pulled a classic piece of Unakite out of the water, and there it is. Oh. Just has some beautiful, the green is epidote and the red is feldspar, and it's pretty much all throughout. Beautiful rock. It's one of my faves. Now I've run across this sign here at the very south side of Cross Village, and end of public area, private beach. Beyond this point, don't let it discourage you. Okay, they have rights to the property up to the first vegetation line, and the shoreline is public. So that's the general rule of thumb here in Michigan. So don't let it discourage you. Check this out. Sitting right up on the sand. That is just a beautiful piece of Unakite. Incredible. And a little piece down here. Those are going home with me. Check this out. Found this in the water. Some jasper and quartz. Some epidote, which is green. The jasper is very dark red. The quartz is kind of white. The red is feldspar. And look at all the epidote veins on this side. Just a beautiful piece. I don't know if this be called epidote because it's got a lot of other stuff in it. So I'm just going to call it a beautiful rock. And it's going to go home with me. There you go. What an interesting garden you have, Pete and Linda. Yes, that's right. I just got this out of the drink. Man, oh man, oh man. It's got just a good granite look. Big old vein of, looks like jasper. There's a big blop of it on the other side. But it's got a beautiful green and black color with that big red vein and blop. Very cool. Fun out here. There's a lot of different things. Now, I think I'm gonna quit here. And as you can see, there's a whole lot more beach. It goes right up around that bend and beyond. So just an incredible amount of beach here. And the water's clearer over here around that bend to the south from Cross Village. So it's a lot easier to see into the water and pick out some of those beautiful things. And yeah, just a great shoreline to rock hound. So I'm gonna quit, but I hope y'all go on to get beyond this point and find gorgeous stuff. Coming up around the bend, as CCR might say, or going up around the bend. Anyhow, I'm heading back north to the carp, or to the boat launch at Cross Village, Port of Cross Village. And keep in mind that these rocks on the shoreline are really just as beautiful as what's in the water, except they're dry, and they're not as easily, it's not as easy to spot the good, the beauties. So I do suggest coming out here actually in a drizzle or rain, because it opens up this entire beach to rock hounding. So if you've got the good rainwear and you've got the wherewithal, I suggest coming out here when it's raining. A lot of things to find. And again, the water, a lot clearer around this bend, oddly. A lot of green slime on the rocks, so they're slippery as heck out there. You've got to be sure-footed if you're going to be in the water. And yeah. Oh yeah, here's that stream. Holy mackerel. There's a piece of Unakite or epidote just waiting for me. Let's go get that. Sweet. Oh yeah, that's nice bright green. Very nice. Well, this running water here coming out of that hill is just exposed an awful lot of beautiful rocks here. Yeah, kind of chilly too. All right. That about wraps up our journey to Cross Village, the port of Cross Village in Cross Village. And again, these rocks really are, they change almost daily. So you just don't know what you're going to find until you get out here. And then you'll be hopefully pleasantly surprised. I usually am. All right, gang.